This is John Walton, and you're listening to the Power Play Point podcast with the Blue Liner on point and Anna Knox. Here's Wilson, and on the right circle, he scores!
Rebound loose, wild scramble in front, score! Ovechkin with a buzzer beater! It'll count!
And a hat trick tonight, number 21,
Hello, Caps fans, and welcome in to the Power Play Point podcast for another week, show number 282. This is your host, the Blue Liner on Point, talking to you live, the tape, from my humble abode in downtown Glen Burnie, Maryland. And it's going to be a covering of the 3 games out in California for our Caps. And speaking of which, well, we had Ginny Clausen cover last week, and we have our returning Mermaid coming back this week. You know what she's all about. It kind of makes me ask the musical question as far as my co-hosts. I wish they could all be California girls.
We are quite special.
And that's that, of course, is the dulcet tones of the one and only Mermaid, Anna Knox. And full disclosure, sitting in her usual spot in the peanut gallery after a long day of work is Mrs. Blue Liner, who just earned me a middle finger for my comment just right now.
Oh no, which comment?
California girls, because she's not a California girl. Which is funny. You asked about before we came on air. You asked about the upcoming games. So that's going to be remind me about that. That's going to be kind of interesting.
Okay.
Little road trip. But before we get into that, of course, the Mermaid was on a very interesting, very lovely vacay. You got to tell us some about that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, first off, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah. So just got back from celebrating my 50th birthday in Turks and Caicos. Swoon. It was amazing. Like truly, like I don't even know what to say. I mean, the color of the water is like there is no crayon that can even compare to. Like there isn't anything where you're like, oh, it's like a sky blue or it's it's like pool water. You know, like where it's just absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, the place that we stayed at was literally 20 yards to the sand, and the beach is obviously very small, so then it's like 10 yards to the water, and they have a reef, so they've got like buoys around it, and you get snorkel gear, which for $6 a person, which is like fuck yeah. And that's what we did for a good chunk of time. It was like go in the water, do a little ocean swim, snorkel, get out, read book, have something to eat on the beach. It was incredible. Ian did do a dive. I'm not certified, but he went, and that was obviously incredible. So yeah, it was very, very cool. I will say, lots of colorful fish, and the experience was amazing and so peaceful. And I came back feeling very, I don't know, like not rejuvenated, because that's kind of a cheesy word, but just sort of in a good headspace, just like, all right, I got this. Like, and people are, lots of people out there are very much like, oh, like I don't want to talk about my age. I'm like, why not? Like, what's the alternative? It's like, why not celebrate? So yeah, turned 50 and had an amazing dinner. They at a place at the hotel that was, just sort of like a little cove kind of thing, and you're overlooking the water, and it was stunning. And there was a full moon this week. It was just sort of all these things aligned, which was awesome. And then I realized when I was at I had Wi-Fi access at the hotel, so I could like check in on the kids because my best friend from San Francisco came to watch them. But when I was away, I didn't have access. But I was thinking of you and Jenny, that you would appreciate this picture. We went into this Mexican restaurant just on a stop, and it was called like Skulls Skulls and something, and I was like, I don't care, like I just need the bathroom. And right outside the women's bathroom was like this like hanging sort of skeleton with this very colorful sombrero and these words that were going up the side of it. And I was like, oh, and I just took a picture, and I didn't even think of what what it said until I showed Ian later and was like, oh yeah, she have to like check this out. Isn't this so cool? And he burst out laughing. He's like, did you not read, like what it said next to it? I was like, no, I just thought it was really cool because not only was it like a female skeleton, but she was also dressed as a mermaid. I was like, oh my God, like all these things are falling in. And then, so I look at the lettering and it says, put queso in my face. Like, I honestly, I'm going to send it to you right now. It was so perfect. Like, I was like, how did I miss that? But something told me to like take a picture of it. So obviously I did because I thought it was so cool. So I'm sending it to you and Jenny right now. Um, but it was perfect. I was like, oh my God, it's a mermaid. It's in this like Mexican restaurant, which I love. Oh my God, queso. Yes, please, let me bathe in that. And then the whole kind of funky, Day of the Dead kind of restaurant.
Uh-huh.
It was great. It wasn't the highlight, but I just thought you guys would appreciate because you all know my queso obsession. So
Oh yeah, I remember.
you recall making me a vat of it when you all came to visit. So yum. Yeah, so the trip was it was just really, it truly was incredible, and I highly recommend. It's from the East Coast, from out here. It's only it's less than a 3-hour flight, which is great. And so it's like not, there's no time change, nothing like that, American currency, whatever. It is pricey because it is an island.
Right.
But yeah, like just very cool people, very laid back, very, it is going to be very built up soon, which kind of makes me sad. But one of the locals I talked to was like, it gives people their jobs, and how can you not appreciate that? So yeah, it was truly incredible. I wore my mermaid necklace, thank you, which you guys gave me for my birthday.
Welcome.
And I didn't take a picture with it on, and I don't know why I didn't, but I will still put it back on and send you guys a picture of that.
That's fine, as long as
Yeah,
long as you enjoyed it. Sounds like you were completely in your element.
I was. It was almost creepy, like almost like, I don't know. Have you snorkeled before? I don't know if we've
Not
ever
in the
talked about this.
not in the ocean. Never in the ocean, unfortunately. So
Where
I don't
else
know if
would
that
you snorkel?
counts. In a pool, in a
Oh.
tank,
No.
kind of like practice. Nothing official, but
Okay.
it's kind of like a practice class or something. A
Gotcha.
long time ago.
Snorkeling or scuba?
Snorkeling.
Okay. So like on top.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's just something very incredibly peaceful about being like, I didn't even think twice. Like, as much as I love the ocean and I'm all about saving the ocean, of course I am like, sharks scare the shit out of me. But when I was out there, I was like, whatever. Like, hey, we're in your habitat. So but it's like the water was it was like being in a pool. So if I'm like, well, something's gonna come, all right, like I'll see it. But there wasn't anything like that. It was just tons of colorful fish and coral, and yeah, it was incredible. And I did not have. They were all about college hoops out there, so that was what was playing 24/7 in the restaurant and the bar, the outdoor stuff outside. So I pulled up cap scores, but I didn't get a chance to see anything until yesterday's beat down against the Sharks.
Nice. Well, we are coming up on March Madness in more ways than one.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that does include hockey. So I'm glad to hear you had a wonderful time. Sounds like you needed it, and you had a pretty kick-ass time, which is what I was hoping for. So that's awesome to hear. We're kind of we're kind of winding down. I mentioned this before. I think in passing, at least. No sports on the Hill this coming Monday or the Monday after. In fact, not on for that until April the 6th is when we all go back on for that. So I want to say we're it for Caps Hockey Podcast. Of course, that's pretty far from the truth. A lot of other shows I can recommend. I'll give a quick roll call now. Of course, the one that's on every day, Locked On Capitals with Dan Holme, the official Caps Chirp podcast with the Hockey Troll, Janaea Talks Caps with Janaea Bennett, of course. That's DC Hockey with Sammy Silver on YouTube. Of course, the Sacroom's Off the Chain, Caps Off the Chain podcast every week. Along with the prospect showcase that we do on the side. And I know I'm missing somebody else, and I'm going to kick myself for it if I can't remember them. But I think that is everybody that I know of, at least off the top of my head. So lots of choices. We're blessed if you, as Caps fans, if you want to listen to others talk about the Caps, make their critique. But you're listening to this show. If you're having us on now, thank you for that. You on the other side of the earbuds, the speakers, what have you. So let's jump in and rate the California trip. Of course, there were 3 games, first of which was kind of a crazy one out in the land of Disneyland, Anaheim, California. This past Tuesday night. This was a nutty one. So let's go ahead and jump right into the details. First goal of the game scored at 2:07. Dylan Strome hits the 20-goal mark, and assisted by his line mates, Tom Wilson. Lots more on him this week. And Alex Ovechkin, and again, that's 2:07 with the backhand. Jacob Trouba finally gets a goal. He had to switch teams to do it. His first of the year, Troy Terry and Frank Vetrano, the assist on that one. That was about 2.5 minutes later, 4:51 of the first period. And then the Ducks took the lead for a while. Drew Hellison, his fourth, Trevor Zegras and Leo Carlson, the assist on that one at 5:20. So 29-second between those goals, and you kind of knew it was not going to be a comfortable game if you like defense. But before the period was over at 18:14, Alexei Protas would get the first of his several goals, his 26th of the year. Ovechkin again on the assist, and Dubois helping him as well at 18:14. Dubois himself, we jump over to the second period, would give the Caps the lead 3-2 at 5:19. Roy and Chychrun, the helpers on that one. I like the motion of this goal. Dubois was kind of stepped to the side, and then he made a pitchforking motion like he was working on a farm or something. So if you happen to catch the replay, that's what that looks like. No further goals in that period. So we jump into the third, and this is where everything went bonkers, bananas crazy here. 4:26. Pavel minty fresh. Gets his 5th of the season. Cutter Gauthier and Hellison the assists on that. 426, as I said, tie game. Protus, his 2nd of the game, 27th of the year. 40th assist for Dubois, and McMichael, his 28th assist to helpers on that. That was a 31-second response. So good to see the Caps jump there. I thought that was the game winner. It was not. Frank Vetrano gets his 20th, ties the game again. A different Strome, Ryan, not Dylan, his brother, gets the primary assist. Minushikov gets the helper on the other helper on that. 6:18. It's becoming a ping pong match. Of all people, Nick Dowd gets what turns out to be the game winner at 13:25. Tom Wilson, his 2nd assist of the night, and Duhaime the helpers, 13:25, as I said. And then welcome to the Washington Capitals, Mr. Anthony Beauvillier, his 14th of the year, first as a Cap. Duhaime and Sandin on the assists on that one. Absolutely love this. Cut through the middle and backhand shelf on this one. Catch yourself the replay on this if you have the time. Absolute Beauvillier beauty. Yeah, I butchered that. I know. 18:24 in the game. And then the hats rained down for Alexei Protus as he got his 3rd of the game. That's his hat trick, first hat trick of his career. The
Love
empty
it.
netter, of course, 1943. So we're all eating that wonderful treat from McDonald's because it happened in the magical McNugget minute.
Delicious.
Play started by John Carlson and finished off in part by Alexander Ovechkin, who
Yeah.
had a chance to put away one of his patented 125-foot shots into the empty net, which is, as we all know, is so easy to do. But he found Protus breaking out in the middle and knew he was gunning for a hat trick, and so he made the pass. What a selfish hockey player he was.
Seriously.
Really.
I did see that after post game when I kind of pulled the score to see how he did, and then read what Protus had said afterwards, and was just like, you know what, I'm not surprised because Ovechkin just truly is. He's just a badass. He goat 100%. There isn't anything else to say, and you know what, he knew this first hat trick was going to be such a huge moment for Pro, and how, like you said, so completely unselfish and of him to do. And I love to hear stories like that because you know what, that's what teammates do.
Of course. And so Ovechkin, such a horrible human being, feeds everybody with McNuggets, helps a teammate get his first hat trick, and to top it all off, for the rest of the year, he's going to make a donation for every goal he scores for the rest of his career to the V Foundation for cancer research.
Yeah, how terrible.
What a horrible human being.
God, people are just jerks trying to look for him to be a jerk, and it's just unbelievable.
Really, just I don't know. What if you got that much time to figure out how to hate somebody? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Touch grass, get therapy, go on BetterHelp, do something.
Right.
I don't know. Launch yourself into outer space for all I care. So it was not exactly a great defensive game for the Caps, of course. I would say probably one or two Logan Thompson would want to have back on this one. But offensively, pretty good. 43 shots on goal for this game. Love seeing that. Never a period where they were below double digits. Started off pretty well. 19 in the first period alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty good. 43 total shots, as I said. No coincidence there. I think.
It's a good number.
That's a very good number.
Mhm.
And Mr. 43 had himself a pretty good game with 2 helpers. No goals, but 2 helpers.
Mhm.
Uh, about point per game pace or thereabouts. Okay, and I didn't really. I mean, yeah, I didn't really notice anything else other than it's a ping pong match in the third period and was kind of got sloppy, but and not ideal. But it's another example of the Caps' resilience, and like seeing that. I do have a concern. It is the concern that's been ongoing, but I think the Ducks were allowed too many high danger chances. I'm gonna, if I can remember, I'm gonna mention something about that towards the end. But in the end, Caps did their job. So great start to the California road trip. So on to Thursday in their second game. This game we're just going to zip through because, well, that's exactly what happened for the offense was zip. UC Soros no goals for the Caps on 21 shots. Absolutely no run support for Mr. Charlie Lindgren, unfortunately. And this happens to be a pattern, I think, for the whole bloody season. He gets no support coming or going. And my pal Blake is probably banging his head against the wall right now listening to this as I say it, because there may be evidence to the contrary. But I don't know. It just seems that way to me that they tend to play worse when in front of Charlie this year.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
know
that
that's a
to
blanket.
become. Yeah.
I don't want, yeah, I don't want that to be 100% true. It's a blanket statement. I get it, but I more often than not, I found that to be the case. All right, let's do our due diligence here. Quick rundown of the scoring. Warren Fogle opened it up, his 19th. Trevor Moore, the assist at 13:08. No scoring in the second. Caps kind of fell apart in the third in quite a few ways. Kevin Fiala on the power play, his 25th. Andrzej Kopitar and Drew Doughty, the helpers on that one at 105. And then 47 seconds later, Clinton Byfield, his 16th. Fiala and Gavrikov, the assist on that one. Caps never had an answer, ironically enough, against an old friend, Darcy Kemper. Fired 21 shots as I said, at him. He stopped them all and thus ended the game. Bad pattern that I pointed out, about 150 times before, I'm sure. 10 shots in the first period for the Caps, 7 in the second, 4 in the third.
Ouch.
Yeah, never, ever a good pattern. Never.
Okay.
So Kings basically had their way defensively, pretty much shut down any second and third chances that might have been. Caps really didn't have anything quality. Not saying Darcy didn't do his job, but at the same time, the Kings defense made things kind of easy on him, and what just one of those things where it wasn't their night. I didn't like what I saw, but it's certainly not a case for panic. I was pretty sure they were going to bounce back, and bounce back they did. This past yesterday's game at the SAP Arena
Yeah.
in San Jose. And I'd be before I go on, I'd be remiss in forgetting to if I forgot to say that we had a personal correspondent, of course, as she mentioned. Jenny Clausen was there for all 3 games of the California road trip. Brought back some nice pictures that were posted on the Facebook page. If you haven't had a chance to see those yet. But this game was easily the best of the 3. Great game both ways. 5-1 win for our Caps. Shot differential in the first period probably tells you most of what you need to know. 17 for the guys in red and 3 for the Sharks.
Mm.
And it was pretty much downhill from there, rather. Stop me if you heard this before. Dylan Strome gets the first goal of the game. Ovechkin and Wilson get the first assist of the game, so broken record.
Mhm.
733. Protus, his 29th of the season. Eller and Wilson again on the assist. He was all over the place. And then that was at 17:26. And then about a minute and a half later, Taylor Radish gets his 7th. So Protus's goal would be the game winner, as it turns out. Radish gets his 7th. Carlson and Dubois, that's Carlson's 40th assist. So Caps have 2 guys now with 40 assists or more on the season. So Carlson and Dubois helping out on that at 18:55. Just 5 seconds short of the old McNugget minute goal. So unfortunately, we weren't quite eating, or were we? Stay tuned and find out. No goals in the second period, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, the second period is got a little frisky, shall
Well,
we say.
I was listening to Alan May and Ben and Audie talking about this Sharks team and how young they are. Obviously they're rebuilding. We'll just say that without Thornton and whatnot. But yeah, it's to see 18-year-olds playing in the NHL is just incredible. But there's a lot of them. I mean, like that is a young team and a fast team. But man, they were relentless. I was like, holy shit! Like that Tommy fight was it was kind of my favorite.
I don't. Did you see that picture I posted late last night?
Where it's like zoomed in.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah. Don't poke the bear. It was because it was odd, like to watch him and and the chirping, and I was like, oh my God, you cocky 18-year-old player, you're to go up against Tomlinson. Even Alan May was like, listen, he'll go and he'll drop the gloves and he'll do his thing. But when he is fired up, when he's pissed, watch out. Like he's gonna drop you. And he did.
So in case
So.
in case you out there listening missed what happened in some of these games, some context. In the LA game, towards the end, it was either in the LA game or the Anaheim game. Now I'm okay. You know what? I've just been informed it was actually the Anaheim game with about, I want to say, 5 minutes remaining. He took a puck to the face. I'm starting to wonder if he has a homing signal in his mouth or something, because
A puck to the face or a stick to the face?
this was a puck to the face.
Shit. Okay.
There was a really strange ricochet, and it hit the ice really awkward, and it kind of flicked upward and just got him in the upper lip. And yeah, he had to come off the ice. He never made it back to the game. He ended up getting 20 stitches on his upper lip. And this guy who Stopachuk, who was picking a fight with him, Ostapchuk, he probably should have stopped chucking or trying to think about chucking fists with Wilson, because, well, the reason I said don't poke the bear in that picture is he kind of agitated Wilson by kind of I don't know if it was a finger or backhand, or punched him right in the 20 stitches. And
dirty.
that's
That's a
that's like going up to a sleeping lion and trying to light one of its paws on fire.
Yeah.
Is basically what he did. And well, hopefully you saw what happened after, but Wilson exercised his rights to defend himself and a few lefts, and it took care of business. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sharks decided, oh, okay, well, we're going to take it up a notch or two from there. And next thing you know, Duhaime got into a fight. And then there was all this other crap. Chychrun got roped into something, and he ended up getting 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And
but I
it
love
was,
him.
yeah. So it got kind of crazy towards the end of the second period. So that was, yeah, even though there were no goals, it was kind of interesting. So on to the third period. Macklin Celebrini spoils the shutout for Thompson, his 21st. Tyler Toffoli on the helper for that one. That's at 6:19. And then, okay, everybody, you're going to want to sit down for this. There was something that happened in this game that has not happened for just over 2 years. And what that was Trevor Van Riemsdyk scored a goal.
Yeah.
I forgot
Like,
that he could
holy
score a
shit,
goal.
right?
Yeah, I forgot that he could score a goal so much so that I almost forgot his name.
Yeah. You and me both. I mean, and I was like, I hate to be a jerk about it, but I had to have a about time or finally TBR, because you're like, hey, like where have you been? So I was happy. I was like, yeah, thank God. Like, let's hope this keeps going, because you've been MIA for quite a while
And
on the scoreboard, not
well, yeah,
on the ice, but you know what I mean.
and I yeah, right. And I get that that's not exactly his job, but whew, so when I found out that it had been a while, I thought, when I saw the graphic, I thought, okay, it was a year. I read it wrong. It was 2 years.
2 years. Yeah. I
It
mean,
was
that's crazy.
March 9th, 2023 was the last time he scored a goal.
And I'm sure that date has been like, just the dark cloud over his head. So glad to break that. And I'm sure, he's finally like, finally. But we are kind of too. I mean, like, I know, like you said, it's not his job, but you know what? Pretty sure this is the longest he's gone without scoring.
Well, and the joke in the locker room afterward was that spanned the whole lifetime of his kid.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
his kid had literally had not seen him ever in the whole life see his dad score a goal. So
That's brutal but hilarious. But welcome
yeah,
to locker rooms.
yeah. So Eller and Mangiapane, the helpers on that one, that was at 6:59, 40 seconds after the Celebrini goal. And then 8:87. Alex Ovechkin, his 34th, Martin Fedavati, and Dubois, the helpers on that one at 10:54. So maybe not McNuggets, but definitely pizza today. If that is of your proclivity, 50% off. Pizzas ordered at papajohns.com. Just put in the code OVI50 is the magic code for that. And again, if you're hungry for pizza, which a lot of us tend to be, going over the vitals here. You know what? Nothing jumping out here. If I were more prepared, this would probably be a banner game as far as advanced stats, such as high danger chances on both sides. 'Cause I thought for sure the way, at least in the first 90 seconds, the Sharks were the better team.
Oh
They
yeah.
didn't
Well, you said that on our Facebook page, that, or maybe in the chat, that you
in the
felt like
chat.
that they came out and we were like, not so much coming out very strong. So
Yeah, the first 90 seconds for sure. They were going to the net. Now they didn't get a shot on goal until like 7 or 8 minutes in or
mhm,
something like that. But they were charging the net, and they were really moving that puck.
right.
And yeah, I did not like the slow start, but thankfully they corrected that rather quickly this time. And I get it's against literally the worst team in the league right now, but don't go to sleep on them. You watch in 2-3 years, they're not going to be a team to take lightly. As soon as
No, absolutely not.
those guys get older and
Yeah,
kind of gel a little more, they get a little more experience. Uh,
watch
they're
out.
yeah, they're not going to be they're not going to be scraping the bottom. Then
Well,
I'm
and
I'm
they
sure of it.
certainly didn't, hold back against the Caps yesterday, which says a lot. So, there's going to be obviously some maturity because you got, I'm sure, some cocky, arrogant 18-year-olds out there that think they can do no wrong and take on someone like Wilson. But you know what? Like, I also understood that let's see, so yesterday was Saturday, so they played Friday night, and the coach had him on the ice Saturday morning and had them play the team Saturday. And so, they're like, hey, listen, it's just like, we're not fucking around here. So I agree with you. I think it's a team to give a couple years under their belt, and they're going to come out strong.
Yeah. So next year, year after that, and year after that, I think you're going to see a lot of growth out of that team. I don't think they're going to be bottom feeders for very much longer at all.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't like the loss in LA. They could have done better, but I'm not worried about it. But again, what I am kind of worried about, spent a little time on this. According to moneypuck.com, when you total up we track the high danger shots against. Now this might have changed because when I found this, it was Friday of a few days ago, as in a
Okay.
few days ago Friday. But if you focus in on the high danger shots against, the Caps are 5th in allowing high danger shots against, and the teams ahead of them for the most part are out of the playoffs right now. So they're the highest ranking playoff team that has allowed that many, a lot.
Hmm.
Um, that's not a good thing at
Right.
all. Now, I get the playoffs are a second season and everybody locks it down. So I'm hoping they see this and they realize, okay, well, kind of got to tweak a few things, and I'm sure they will. But this kind of bothers me a little bit,
Hmm.
and it should bother uh, Caps fans in general because this is not a stat to ignore. So playoffs being what they are, yeah, a little more tightening up in our end, please. And hopefully they take note. I'm sure they are, but I saw this and yeah, I wasn't too happy about it.
Okay.
But
Something to keep an
just
eye on.
something to keep an eye on. Just wanted to point that out as something of note. So if you're learning to watch the game, which hopefully you are, that's kind of why we do this. Something to, as the Mermaid just said, keep an eye out for it. How many high danger chances? Now remember, a scoring chance doesn't necessarily have to result in a shot on goal. Case in point, this very game. Okay, Sharks didn't get a shot their first 2 chances, but had they connected, it probably wouldn't have been good. But keep an eye on that for the next, the rest of the season here. See what kind of a trend we got. Speaking of the rest of the season, previews of coming attractions. So Tuesday is their next game. Got a 3-game homestand coming up. It starts with hello again, the Red Wings, who I thought had a very impressive win today against the Vegas Golden Knights. They're going to be playing some desperate hockey for the rest of the season because they are right on the edge, right on the bubble. Actually on the outside looking in. So they're like I said, they're going to be playing desperate hockey. So watch out for them. That's going to be interesting. A 7:00 puck drop at Cap 1. That's Tuesday night. Then over to Thursday, the Philadelphia Flyers come to town. 7:00 puck drop, March the 20th. And then road trip ends 5:00 on a Saturday. Not 9:00 on a Saturday, but 5:00 on a Saturday puck drop. The defending champion Florida Panthers come to town for a matchup. And then the
And I'll
week
be
after,
there.
oh, that's right, you're going to that game. That's the
Yeah.
Saturday game you are going to. So
Yes.
pics, videos, and whatever not you can bring back, and also some good luck, because that's going to be a very interesting
That's
game.
going to be an intense game for sure.
First against the Rat in Florida colors, I hope.
Oh, God.
That'll be interesting. And then week after that gets a little interesting. I'm going to call this my other co-host road trip, because the first of those two games is in Winnipeg, which, as we all know, is where the Mermaid's origin story began.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no team in Maine, there's no team in North Dakota, but this is close as we can get. So the Minnesota Wild is their next game Thursday, so that's as close as an origin story as we're going to get to Mrs. Blue Liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't claim Winnipeg. That's hers. So you get Minnesota. I know, and you hate those uniforms. I know, but I know you love the North Stars and hate the Wild, but
I don't like Dallas, so.
Yeah,
Love it.
who does like Dallas? Speaking of which,
Yeah.
have them on in the background playing the Avalanche.
Oof.
Yes, shots on goal. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
playing one of our kind of games.
yeah. Well, except they're not scoring.
Well, true.
And to end the month, that Sunday, man, I'm getting tired of these Sunday games. It messes me up. As far as recording. Oh, by the way, I need to ask you a couple favors, or at least one.
Okay.
But that'll be off air. So March the 30th to end the month, 3:00 game back at home against Buffalo. I might be at that one with Marcus. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I might be going to that one. And then I think by then the OV goal chase is going to really start to ramp up. You got a couple of national games coming up in April. I still say he's going to do it in the home closer, April 13th. When we bring the curtain down to Cap 1 for the regular season for their game against the CBJ, then I think he's going to save it for the tank, what's left in the tank for then, and finish it off. I say it'll be that game.
Okay.
But yeah, it is. Don't be surprised if everything starts to ramp up. He's under double digits now, so it'll be, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But I like what. Speaking of TNT's coverage, I like what Rick Bowness said on TNT regarding a potential distraction. He said, "Well, look, they've been focused on a team first game. Their locker room is focused on refining their game and doing what they can as a team. So as soon as he gets the record, there's not going to be a letdown. They're going to keep on going and try to improve as a team." And that's good to hear, because it finally somebody in the mainstream hockey media gets it, that this is not a team that's a one-trick pony. So all right, so that'll take us into April, and we got another week to go after that till we get back with Robbie. But I mentioned all the other Caps hockey podcasts. if you are you have your own podcast that is cap centric, and I failed to mention you, do please get with me either on the Facebook page or to my personal email, glhallowed@yahoo.com. I will be more than happy to give you guys a plug and a shout and some love and all that good stuff, because we love hearing from Caps fans. Maybe you can even be a guest on this show and get yourself going if you're just starting out. So yeah, that's pretty much what we are. And we kind of zip by here. It was Caps got some fun in the sun. So did my co-host, and all's well that ends well, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that is, let me go over my notes here. I think I had one or two more. No, that was it. I wanted to point out the high danger chance thing because that's an advanced stat that it has been very key both ways to the Caps' success this year. So
Right.
that is your homework assignment. Ironically enough, not handed out by the teacher, but by me to you to look out for the rest of the season.
Perfect.
Okay, so nothing else from you, Mermaid?
Nothing.
Okay, well, all right. Well, then I think this is a good place to stop then. So for the Mermaid Anna Knox, this is the Blue Liner on Point, signing off and reminding you that, well, okay, so usually I end with a joke. I'm going to change things up a bit and end things with a bit of a local history lesson here. So there's a certain town, certain city in the area that is very, very important, especially if you're in Prince William County, Virginia. Happens to be the county seat there. A little bit of history and how that town got started. They were having trouble attracting people to that settlement. This is back in the 1850s and 60s. So the founders decided to open a nudist colony, but there weren't too many women who were interested. So only guys. So the city actually started out as a nudist colony. So when it started, since it was a nudist colony, it was only guys. All you could see was man asses.
Ba-dum-bum.
Hallelujah, and let's go Caps.
Go Caps.
This has been another episode of the Power Play Point podcast. All episodes are available from Apple Podcasts, the Podbean app, blueliner77.podbean.com, and now available from Stitcher. Music by Joe McAllister, voiceover by Jeffrey Conkle.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Power Play Point podcast. Thanks for listening.